Hey guys, Phone Arena here with a quick look at the Motorola XPRT. The XPRT is Sprint's new business class Android device. If you're thinking it looks familiar, that's because it's basically the Droid Pro, which was offered by Verizon back in November. Not much has really changed, and to the untrained eye, besides the logo and a little bit different color scheme, the two devices are identical. They both have a 3.1-inch display, the button placements around the side and the top are the same, and they both have a 5-megapixel camera with a dual LED flash on the back. There are some cosmetic differences, however. For starters, the Sprint XPRT has a nice flat back, whereas the Droid Pro had a little hump here going over the camera. The back is also soft touch, a nice addition that we felt was missing on the Droid Pro. More subtly, we have a difference in the keyboard. It's not too much, but at the side keys here, this speaker and alt key, you'll notice that the buttons are a little bit smaller and there's more bezel room around it. However, overall there's less bezel on the phone, as these keys push closer to the edge and there's no bezel in between it and the display. They just run together. This could just be in our minds, but however, we think this makes the keyboard just slightly bigger, and the keyboard does feel a little bit better than we remember on the Droid Pro the first time around. That said, the keys are still a little stiff, so it'll take some getting used to on the typing. For those familiar with the Droid Pro, there's not really a lot different on the Motorola XPRT. The software is basically the same, with Blur. There are some differences. For starters, we're going to find the Sprint software on here, of course, instead of the Verizon software. And in terms of preloaded software, there isn't much. There's, of course, the Sprint TV, the NASCAR, the Sprint Football Live, and then we also have Sprint's new mobile wallet service, as well as Music Plus. Most users probably don't care about that, but it's something cool nonetheless. You also have a full version of Quick Office Pro, just like we found on the Droid Pro. In terms of manufacturer skins, Blur is much more focused on social network integration than taking over the UI, such as the HTC Sense interface. And we think it's less gimmicky than something like Samsung's TouchWiz interface. It doesn't really take away much from the Android experience, and everything you've come to know and love about Android is still there, including all the stock apps. We don't see Motorola trying to create their own music player or contact list or anything like that. Overall performance of the Motorola XPRT was quite good. Users complained that we were a little bit nasally, but on the whole said we sounded very good, and particularly appreciated the background noise cancellation. There is no cave effect like they had on the Droid Pro. We do think that their voice sounded very clear as well, and we really appreciated the speakerphone mode, which was very usable even at the highest volumes. One of the things we do like about the Droid Pro is the battery life is very good, rated at 8 hours, and it's easily the best Android device that Sprint offers. We're not quite sure how Motorola does it, but they consistently outperform all the other Android devices in terms of battery life. And we really appreciate that we can get through the entire day with moderate to heavy usage on the device. The Motorola XPRT may be a little bit old these days, as the Droid Pro came out about 8 months ago, but it definitely fills the slot in Sprint's lineup, and it's not showing any signs of aging. No, it's not a dual-core Tegra device or anything super special. However, it's a very solid business-class Android device, and really has a spot in Sprint's lineup. It also marks the beginning of the reinvigoration of the Sprint and Motorola relationship on the CDMA side. We recently heard that Sprint and the Motorola are bringing out the Photon 4G, a device that looks to be an absolute world beater right now. In the meantime, the Motorola XPRT fills a slot that's sorely needed and is definitely a great business offering for Sprint. We think it'll find the pockets of many casual users as well, with easily accessible QWERTY keyboard and the nice large display.